These images were recorded this week. Rio de Janeiro, Fluminense fans painting banners and posters in support of PSG. And it's not just anywhere, you know? It's in Rocinha, the largest favela in Latin America. It's hard to imagine a more unlikely setting for a tribute to a French club. Yeah, especially coming from a Brazilian club, historically associated with the elites of Rio society. There was nothing at stake for Brazilian soccer, and yet they were there. Paint, posters, flags. Why? Because it's the Champions League final, PSG versus Arsenal, and for some Fluminense fans, it's like a final for them. Today I'm going to tell you how this story began. How did this brotherhood begin? Because this is one of the most unlikely and also most beautiful stories that football has ever produced. But first, for those of you who don't follow the Champions League, let me give you an idea of what's at stake. PSG is the current champion. They won in 2025 the club's first Champions League title in history. Against Arsenal, they're aiming for back-to-back championships. And only one club has managed that in the modern era of the Champions League, Real Madrid, who won 3 in a row between 2016 and 2018. Now let's really understand why, and if you're already enjoying this video, I ask you to like it, share it with your friends, and take the opportunity to subscribe to our channel. Psychoanalyst, professor at URJ, member of one of the main organized supporter groups of Fluminense. In 2012, he goes to Paris to advance his research on marginalized youth cultures. Check out the thesis. And he realizes that the soccer stands are the perfect laboratory. Paris was an intentional choice. At that time, PSG had a clear political division within its own supporters. On one side, more conservative groups. On the other side, there were supporter groups made up of immigrants, Arabs, Muslims, and black people from African families. These were supporters from the outskirts who didn't have much space in the club's official narrative. The psychoanalyst identified with this second group. And maybe it's not just a coincidence. Fluminense still carries this stigma today, right, of being the playboy club from Laranjeiras, tied to Rio football's elite. But within the tricolor fans, just like with PSG, this tension also exists. There are people who don't identify with that label, people from the outskirts, diverse, who have been fighting against this image for decades. And that's when what started as research turned into friendship. They went to games together in France and at Maracanã. They exchanged jerseys, learned the songs. A partnership that wasn't born in the marketing department, but from a true friendship in the most organic way possible. The kind that only the stands can provide. For years, this story existed in silence, a small circle. Those who knew, knew. But then November 2023 came. Fluminense in the Libertadores final, Maracanã against Boca Juniors. Days before the final, PSG plays at the Parc des Princes, and the French fans put up a banner in the middle of the stands. Let's go, Tricolores, the time has come. Fluminense won the Libertadores, and in 2025, when PSG reached their first Champions League final, the Tricolores returned the favor. The banner at Maracanã read, "Allez Parça, go Paris," a Brazilian crowd at Maracanã cheering for PSG. And now, a year later, in 2026, the Tricolores are waking up early to hang banners and posters in the Rocinha favela before the final of another Champions League. Nowadays, it's easy to think that football is just business. $1 million transfers, contracts, broadcasting rights. Yeah, but sometimes a story like this comes up. One that started with a teacher taking a plane with a thesis that turned into a friendship. PSG and Arsenal face each other in Budapest. And on the other side of the ocean, here in Rio de Janeiro, Fluminense fans will be glued to the TV, hearts racing, cheering as if it were their own team. And now I ask you, did you already know this story? Does your team, your favorite club, have a friendship like this? Something similar? Or is this really something out of the ordinary? Like our video, share it with your friends, and subscribe right here on Lance. Thanks.